beautiful people, I am officially live. I want to start back doing more live videos for you guys. So I have it down on my calendar for Monday. Now, I have it down on my calendar for Monday. I hope that I stick to this, but right now that's what I want to do. I want to go live Mondays, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I actually had an exclusive live for my exclusive membership. We had a live earlier today where I was teaching them how to do the dispute letters, how to write their own dispute letters. Even though if you guys are part of my exclusive membership, I actually help you do the dispute letters. But this is going to be just a live video where I'm going to answer questions from you guys. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments, and I'll make sure I answer those questions that you guys may have. Now, I already have a few questions I want to answer. I already got some questions from a few people if they posted in my comments. So if you guys are on YouTube, all you have to do is just post it in my comments, and then I'll go ahead and make videos on the questions that you have. Or sometimes too, I may just answer them in my live videos. And then I'm going to include a link that you guys can fill out. So say if I'm not live and you want to put something down, I'm going to include a link so you guys can go ahead and just put your questions there. But I'll make sure I add that later. So let me just send this to my texting club really quickly. If you guys are not part of my texting club, definitely join my texting club. And let me add my banner so you can see it. So all you gotta do is text score to 21,000, and you guys will be a part of my texting club. Usually I tell everybody whenever I'm live, whenever I have a video, I'll always tell people right away, just in case you don't get notifications from YouTube. You guys should definitely get notifications through my texting club. So I'm almost done posting that I'm live. So after I go live, after I post that I'm live, I'm going to go over a few questions. But like I said, go ahead and drop your questions. I'm going to go over those next. Let me see. Happy Monday. I'm live. Okay, perfect. So that's it. So let's go over some of these questions. Now, I'm going to start for my live videos that I have. Like if I have a live video, I'm going to make sure that I chop up the video into smaller bits. So just in case you guys don't catch the full video, you guys will definitely see them on YouTube. So you guys should see about 3 videos a day from my live videos starting later on today. But let's go over some of these questions that we have. So someone was asking, they said, for someone that is currently getting their credit repaired, would it harm them by doing the shopping cart trick? Now, when it comes down to the shopping cart trick, you guys, if you don't know what the shopping cart trick is, the shopping cart trick is where you can get credit cards without them checking your credit reports, without them looking at your credit scores. So if you're trying the shopping cart trick, that means that you may need to get credit cards. Now, I always tell people, try to have at least 4 credit cards in their credit reports. So when I say have 4 credit cards, these can be just credit cards that's reporting to all 3 credit bureaus that's want to help boost your credit score. These can be like Capital One, this can be your Discover, this can be your Navy Fed, and it can even be credit cards with the shopping cart trick. So if your credit score is really, really low to the point where you don't have 4 credit cards, then the shopping cart trick option may be best for you. Maybe you want to go that route. So you may want to get credit cards through the shopping cart trick. Now, the people where I say, hey, don't even think about the shopping cart trick, like leave them alone. For those for those people, if you're thinking about doing the shopping cart trick, if you're getting your credit repair, I always tell people, if you have 4 credit cards, try not to get any additional credit cards, especially when you start to repair your credit, because if you get any additional credit cards, every time you get a new credit card, you're going to get a hard inquiry. On top of getting that hard inquiry, when that new account is added to your credit reports, it can drop your credit scores. So I always tell people, if you're trying to get the best score that you can get, you're trying to really boost your credit score up more, you already have 4 credit cards, leave the shopping cart trick alone, because those shopping cart trick credit cards are going to have low balances most likely, or lower than you possibly can get if you was just to wait. If you already have 4 credit cards, wait and build your credit, and then go ahead and apply for the higher limit credit cards now that you have a track record with the credit cards you already have. But if you do not have any credit cards, you need to get some credit cards, then the shopping cart trick will be best for you, even though you're going to get that inquiry, even though, if you don't have any credit cards, getting that credit card it's not going to drop your credit score. It should actually boost your credit score up. But again, it depends on if you need credit cards or if you don't need credit cards. I always tell people, just try to have 4 credit cards. Just try to have 4 credit cards reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. So if you guys have any questions about the shopping cart trick, let me know. I just did a live video showing you guys the shopping cart trick and the different accounts you guys can use. Oh, somebody asked, is this a silly question? But can this card be used anywhere, or is it only on the Camping World? So you must be watching the Camping World credit card I showed you guys about. Let me actually put that on my screen. So when it comes down to doing a shopping cart trick and you guys want to get approved for a credit card through the shopping cart trick, depending on where you get that credit card from, if it is not a Visa credit card or a MasterCard credit card, you can only use it at that store. So when I tell you guys to use, go ahead and go to the Camping World website, which is this website right here. This website, if you try to get a credit card with them, they're going to give you the Good Sam credit card, but that can be a Visa or it can be the store card where you can only use it at Camping World. The biggest part I want you guys to take away from this is this. If you want to find out if you can use it there at that store or anywhere else, it's just call the company, wherever you get the credit card from. And understand if it's a Visa or a MasterCard, don't forget that can be used anywhere Visa and MasterCard is accepted. But on this website, if you go ahead and work towards doing a shopping cart trick for this website, they have an option of giving you a Visa card, or they have the option of just giving you like not a Visa credit card, but just their store card. But you can see that that's here right here. That's here at the top too. They want everybody to get a credit card, so they have it right at the top. So if you get a credit card from like Victoria's Secrets, you can only use it at Victoria's Secrets. I also heard that you can use that at Bath and Body Works for the Victoria's Secrets. If you get the Overstock one, you can only use that at Overstock. If you get the Express, you can only use that at Express. So kind of understand that when it comes down to the shopping cart trick. All right, so let's see, 2 questions down. I'm going to go over everybody else's questions, but these are questions that I took directly off of YouTube, and I want to make sure I answer questions for the people on YouTube first, and then I'll go over the live. So, hi, Rakita. How to remove? So, someone had got some inquiries from a car dealership. They was fishing their credit around. They put too many inquiries on the same day. They was approved for a car. There was approved for a car, but they want to know how would they get those inquiries removed. So when you apply for a car, so if you go to a car dealership and they start sending your credit reports, they start pulling your credit reports for too many different companies. Say if they want you to go to 30 different companies, sometimes you'll see you have those 30 inquiries on your credit reports. I always tell people you want to dispute those inquiries right away. So when I say dispute those inquiries right away, I mean like after you get your car, you pull off the lot, right? Dispute the inquiries right away, because you did not authorize them to pull your credit for all of these companies. And sometimes you may tell them too, hey, don't pull my credit too many times. I don't want you guys to do that because it's going to lower my credit score, but they'll still do it. So if you guys have a lot of inquiries because you try to get a car, dispute those right away. Like as soon as you pull out the lot, you want to do it right away. Now the problem comes in when the card that you actually got, you waited, and a car is actually added to your credit reports. When that card is added to your credit reports, and they're going to start matching up, hey, you disputed inquiries from the card that's actually on your credit reports, but this during the same time, and they're not going to try to remove those inquiries from your credit reports. I always tell people, try to dispute those inquiries right away. Now, when it comes down to disputing inquiries, if you guys are part of my exclusive membership, I gave you guys a free letter that you could send into the credit bureaus, but I always tell people to use my inquiry removal trick. And I believe I have that in the description, but when you use that trick, you guys will be able to remove inquiries faster. So usually the credit bureaus remove these inquiries in 12 to 24 hours. So I always tell people to go that route to remove inquiries. But say if you want to remove inquiries, but that car is already added to your credit reports, do not dispute it. No matter what you do, even if you like, I'm still going for mine, I still got to try to dispute these inquiries, even though the car is added. If you dispute the inquiries, just do not dispute the inquiry that you got from that dealership, or not that dealership, but you got from the actual bank that gave you the loan. So if you got your loan through Capital One, don't dispute that Capital One inquiry. You can go ahead and dispute the other inquiries, but just leave that one alone. Like, just understand that, just leave that one alone. But like I said too, I have my inquiry removal. It should be in the description for you guys, and it shouldn't take too long. for you guys to actually remove those inquiries. Somebody asked, with the shopping cart trick, is that a soft pull or a hard pull? Now, this is kind of tricky. And the reason why I say it's tricky is because some people said that when they actually went for a Visa, when they actually went for like the Visa credit cards, they actually did get a hard inquiry, like the camping world. Some people said they got a hard inquiry, but then some people said that they didn't get inquiry at all and they were approved for that credit card. So it should always be a soft inquiry. Now, Overstock is going to ask for your full social. Overstock.com, they're going to ask for your full social when you actually get the pop-up saying, congratulations, you're pre-approved, and you actually fill out the application. But I always tell people, too, sometimes you could just put 3 zeros, then 2 zeros, and then put your actual last 4 digits of your social security number. So let me show you what that would look like. You can actually put this down on your application, and this will help make sure that you don't get that hard inquiry. Like if you really don't want to get that hard inquiry, but it's supposed to be a soft pull, like with Express, if you go with like Lane Bryant, if you're going with the Victoria's Secrets. But actually sometimes I've seen a few people say with Victoria's Secret, they actually did get a hard inquiry. Now, I'm not sure how they're getting that hard inquiry, but for sure with people with the visas, so some of those people did say they got the hard inquiry, but it should be a soft inquiry. And if you guys get a hard inquiry, try to dispute that right away before that account is added to your credit reports. That's the biggest thing. When accounts are added to your credit reports and you try to dispute that inquiry, they're going to remove that account from your credit reports also, and that's not what you wanted. A lot of times, I only told people about the shopping cart trick is because some of my clients, they could not afford to get secure credit cards. They're like, secure credit cards? Like, I can't put $200 down, $400 down on credit cards. So I told them, hey, do the shopping cart trick because you'll get approved for credit cards. But if you finally get that credit card that you could not be able to get because your credit score was 530 and you finally got credit cards through the shopping cart trick and you dispute that inquiry, and they may remove that account from your credit report, and then all that work that you have done is like damaged. It's gone. Like it's going to be removed from your credit report. So if you have, if you got an inquiry credit reports from an account, then I suggest you guys dispute that right away. Like I cannot stress that enough. Make sure you dispute that account right away, and then also make sure that you do not dispute an account when you do not dispute an inquiry if that account is on your credit reports. So let's see. So somebody said I read this one already. Somebody said they got a charge off. Now with the charge off, they already sold this account to a collection agency because they sent a check to the original creditor before, I guess the account was already a charge-off status, but before it was actually sold. But they sent a check to the original creditor saying, hey, this is the check to pay this account off. If you cash this check, you're supposed to remove this account. You agree to remove this account from all 3 credit bureaus. Now, that trick didn't work with that original creditor. I always tell people to do that with collection companies and do that if you have a charge-off. You really want to just get that account, taken care of because you're trying to buy a house. Now, that original creditor, they didn't do that, but they sold it to a collection company. So now they're saying, hey, should I pay the collection company? What should I do? If you already tried to pay the charge off with the original creditor, I suggest you, because the most likely the account is not on your credit report. With me, this is what I would do. I would try to see if I can pay 50% on the debt, because and then too, let me say this part too. Let me tell you their credit scores, because that's very important. They got a 691, a 698, and a 701. If you was going to pay the original creditor, I would just try to see if I can settle at 50% on that debt, so that the account won't even appear on the credit reports. Because when that account is added to your credit reports, your credit score can drop so much. And when that account is added to your credit reports, now you have a new negative account on your credit reports, and now you're trying to battle this account. Now you're trying to get them to validate the account. Now you're trying to ask for verification. You're trying to ask for so much information when you could have just paid that money to them. So if you have an account like that where you was willing to pay the original creditor, make sure that it's sold to the new collection company and try to see if you can settle that debt. Now, I know I used to tell you guys, don't try to settle debts. Let's try to delete these accounts. Well, not let's try to delete the accounts, but don't settle the debt. Don't settle your collections. I usually told you guys that when the account was actually on your credit reports, like it's there, the damage is done. Don't try to pay it right away. Try to dispute it. But if you know an account is going to be added to your credit reports, and you don't want to go through that battle because you're trying to buy a house, you're trying to buy a car, you don't want to just have your credit score drop. Try to settle that account, especially if you know you owe it and it's not over the statute of limitations. So like in Wisconsin, they have 6 years to try to sue. So if it's past the 6-year mark, then I wouldn't try to settle that debt at all. I would go the route, trying to just remove that account from the credit reports. And on top of that too, I might try to settle it sometimes with the collection company. That's only if I'm too scared it's going to be on my credit reports. But you guys, if you guys have an account, your credit score is high already, do not try to fight with some of these collection companies, because if they put that account in your credit reports, whether they're right or wrong, a lot of times they're wrong, it's going to be a fight for you to get it removed. And then next thing you know, you're spending your time, you're spending your money trying to remove that account when you could have just settled for 50% of the balance. And I've been through that before too, you guys. I'm like, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And then you got to go through all the HELL of getting their account removed from your credit reports. And also too, you got to go through all the suffering you're going through in your head thinking about this. Oh my gosh, my credit score dropped. You got to go through so much. So if you can't settle an account and you know that it's a fresh account, try to settle it out, especially if they're willing to make settlements and you're trying to go towards different things like buying a house, buying a car. If you got goals you need to accomplish, try to settle those accounts out. Like, do not play with these companies. And don't think that they won't add it to your credit reports. I just think that getting accounts added to your credit reports is so damaging. And depending on how much the account is, it was determined to me how damaging it could be. Because if I see that a $15 collection account was added to your credit reports and you knew you owed the doctor, you just had a copay, you did not pay, and you just refused to pay them, then that to me is more damaging, because it's like you could have did something about that. Like, that's more damaging. It's not going to be, the collection amount is not going to damage your credit even more when it's added to your credit report, depending on how much it is. But to me, the thought that you could have done something is more damaging. Like, you just say forget it. If it's something that you owe, try to settle with these companies, especially if it's not added to your credit reports yet. I have a lot of clients where account is not added to their credit reports, and the account is going to be added to their credit reports because they're ignoring the settlement letters that they're getting, and they know for sure that they owe that debt. Try to settle it out. And sometimes when you delete a collection from your credit report, they'll just sell it to another company. So sometimes it's best to just, sell it out with the company that's on your credit report, especially if you got to delete it. Try to settle that account out right away. They'll be more willing to settle with you, especially when you got the account deleted. But don't let it come back and bite you in the butt, because it really will. It really, really will. Can you dispute accounts through Credit Karma? Yeah, you can dispute accounts through Credit Karma. I actually had someone's Credit Karma pulled up because I was showing how to use a dispute letter. Maybe I'll just do that right now. I'll show you a little bit of what we did in my exclusive membership today. We had a live today. Hopefully everybody was able to see it, but I'll show you what we did. Let me see my screen. I got 3 screens just in case you see me, guys. Y'all see me looking around. It's my main one and number 2 and number 3. But let me show you what we did. Actually, let me pull up their credit reports again. Let me pull up their Credit Karma again. But you can dispute accounts through Credit Karma. Just understand that you can only dispute one account at a time. And sometimes those accounts will not be removed. So I always tell people, just send a letter, because you could have got better results by just sending a letter to that company. So if you want to dispute an account, let me make sure I can do it on my end before I tell you I can do something and I can't show you. Oh yeah, it's working over here. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so let me show you what that will look like. So disputing an account through Credit Karma, how to dispute an account through Credit Karma. Then I'll show you what you should do if you want to fill out an actual letter. So don't forget to, everybody should have Credit Karma. It's free. Everybody should have Credit Karma. So make sure you guys get Credit Karma if you don't have them already. Let me share my second screen with you all. Okay, perfect. So these are the negative accounts on someone's credit report, right? So if you can see, this is TransUnion. You can only dispute TransUnion through Credit Karma. That's why I always tell you guys to send a letter. It's 55 cents to send a letter. But this is Credit Karma. So if you want to dispute an account through Credit Karma, all you got to do is click on the account, go down and click Dispute an Error. So dispute an error. And then you will see they're asking you, why would you want to dispute an account? But that's how you would actually dispute the account through Credit Karma. You can pick whatever you want to pick in regards to what's going on with your account. Do you not know about this collection? Do you not know about the knowledge of this account at all? Is this a fraudulent account? You know, these are the different options you can use. And then you'll be able to click 2 of these and then leave any comments that you want to leave. Now, I always tell people, yeah, you can do dispute through Credit Karma, but a lot of times those accounts, they won't be removed. It's just easier if you send a letter to the credit bureaus. So these are all the accounts that's on TransUnion. And let me see. These are the 2 accounts that's on Equifax. So if you guys, and then I believe too, these accounts are duplicates. So this is the actual letter that we did. And don't be alarmed. I always get a lot of people, stop showing socials. I literally showed them, this was a blank letter. I showed them how to fill out this letter. At first, it was a blank letter. But we put a fake name, the address, social security number, the date of birth, the name of the credit bureau, which is Experian. And then we just copy and paste the name of the account and the account number. So you can see right here, these 2 accounts, this account is right here. NTB is right here, and then Midland is right here. Now, don't forget, you guys don't have a copy of your credit reports on Credit Karma. I was trying to show people what to do if you can only use Credit Karma. Yeah, I tell you guys to get your credit reports for $1 with Identity IQ. And after that, they're going to charge you $21.99. But if you guys don't have that option because you can't afford to do it or whatever the case may be, then you can use Credit Karma. But all you want to do is any account that you see on TransUnion and Equifax, you want to automatically add it to Experian. So these are accounts that's actually on TransUnion. I added them here, but since it was a duplicate for Equifax, we didn't touch it at all. But this is the actual Experian letter. We blocked out like the good juicy information to help get the account removed. We blocked that off here. And you can see we'll go down. This is the letter to Equifax, which has these 2 accounts right there. Can you see that? And we didn't have the account number. Usually I'll tell you guys to put the account number on here, but we didn't have the account number. So all we did was just put the balance on here. But this is how you would write a dispute letter, and then you'll just mail it into the credit bureaus. For those people that's a part of the exclusive membership, you guys already have a copy of my dispute letter. So all you have to do is just plug in the name of the account and then to the balance. Or if you have the account number because you have Identity IQ, then use that. And 2, you're going to have more lingo on here. Like you'll see like my copyright information down at the bottom. You just delete all those extra things. But if you have any questions, I have a lot of videos showing you how to fill out these letters. But this is, to me, the best way to get accounts removed from your credit reports by actually sending a letter into the credit bureaus. Now, sometimes this is where I find hiccups with people when it comes down to getting accounts removed from your credit reports. Sometimes if you have a new address, let's say if you just moved to this address, right? Just an address I made up. If you just moved to this address, the credit bureaus probably don't know your address. So you need to make sure that this address is added to your credit report. For those people, that's kind of tricky. Like I used to tell people, use your cousin address. Use your cousin address. Get rid of all your old addresses, any address where you did any dirt at. Get all those addresses removed from your credit reports. But I always tell people to use that cousin address. But you can call the credit bureaus and say, hey, please update my address. And they'll update your address to whatever address you want them to update it to. But this is the thing. If they do not want to update your address, if you want to make sure that guaranteed that that address is added to your credit reports, because this is a very important part, making sure that any address that you did dirt at is not in your credit reports. So if they refuse to add that address to your credit reports, all you have to do is just apply for a credit card that's going to pull that credit bureau that you want to add it on. So if you try, I always tell people, if you try to get that address added to TransUnion or Equifax, just apply for Capital One. Yeah, you're going to have a hard inquiry, but we know how to dispute hard inquiries around here, so we don't care about that. You're going to have a hard inquiry, but that address will be added to your credit report. So fill out application using the address that you want to use your new address. That's like a trick to get it added to your credit reports. And same thing with Experian. If you want to add it to Experian, just apply for Credit One Bank. And there you go. They're going to pull your Experian credit report and they'll add that address on. But what you'll do is just send this to all 3 credit bureaus, wait 30 days, 35 days, and then you'll see what accounts they're willing to remove from your credit reports. Say if the account is not removed from your credit reports. Say if you send a letter, this letter right here, and only the Midland is removed. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and copy the account that was not removed and copy that onto round 2 letters. So every month you will send out another round of letters. They're called rounds. So the first round you will send out all of your accounts on there. I always tell people, like, I got bankruptcy deleted in the first round. So like literally just send out those letters. Don't even think too much. Just send out the first round of letter. And then after you're going to get a copy of your credit reports, letting you know what accounts are deleted, which if you guys are a part of my exclusive membership and I'm helping you with your credit, that's very important that you guys send that to me, like seriously. So make sure you guys send that to me, upload in your portal if you have it. But you will see what accounts they're going to remove, and then you'll add those accounts to round 2 letters. Now, using my system, when I send out rounds of letters, usually by the end of sending out 6 letters, you'll get majority of your accounts removed, if not all. That's usually what I see. And sometimes that can happen too without me even getting documents from people. So I always tell people, don't think too hard. Like literally, don't think too hard. All of this information is already here. All you gotta do is just copy your name, your personal information, copy the account you need to get removed to your next letter and just mail it out. And I was even thinking about too, since I want you guys to send out six rounds of letters, I was thinking about, should I create your 6 rounds of letters, send them to you, and then you just send them out every month like clockwork and see if that will help people. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts on that. But dang, we went into a whole another subject. Yes, you can dispute on Credit Karma, but I suggest you guys send in a round of letter because you will get better results. So let's see. I'm going to get to you guys questions in a second. We have about 3 more minutes. I'm going to finish up the questions I'm getting from YouTube, and then I'll go through everybody's questions. So make sure you guys drop me your questions. Make sure you guys thumbs up this video. And don't forget, if you're not a part of exclusive membership, join exclusive membership today. You guys can use Credit 101, the coupon code. You can get $30 off of the sign up. So let's see. Do you need to clear your passwords in Chrome when you're doing the shopping cart trick? So when I do the shopping cart trick, I don't have to clear my password. I don't have to clear my cookies. Only thing I have to do is just make sure that I allow pop-ups. So I think that's like the most important thing is to allow pop-ups and make sure you're incognito. Make sure you have an incognito window open. Like if you do those things, I think that if you have everything else correct, it should work for you. Don't forget too, you have to opt in to Factor Trust. You have to opt into the pre-screen opt-out, but just clear your cookies, all of that, clear your passwords. You don't necessarily have to do it because I can still get a pop-up on my computer without doing it. I don't want to keep clearing my password, clearing my cookies. I used to do that before, and then I found out, wait, I'm getting a pop-up without doing all this. And then I decided that with my computer, I don't know about your computer or your phone, whatever you're using, I don't need to do that. So if you don't want to clear your cookies, then you probably don't have to clear your cookies. But, if you want to try it, try it without doing it, then go ahead and try it. But understand that could be something that's wrong, though, for a reason why you can't get the shopping cart trick to work. So you may want to just keep trying the shopping cart trick on probably, once a week if you're trying to get it to work. Okay, so someone posted on my YouTube channel saying they're 15, they got the Victoria's Secret card, and they was trying to find out what will happen if they do not pay it. And I was like, wait, how old? You got what card? And then I made a whole video explaining how they're basically, if they don't pay it, they're going to be ruining their credit for when they get older. Now, someone put a comment saying that they're 16 and they don't have a credit card. Should they be applying for a credit card? I do not think that they should be. I do not think if you're 16 or if you under 18, you should be applying for a credit card right now. If I were you, what I would do is I would start learning how to manage money. If you can't manage your money, you can't manage anyone else's money when they give it to you. So get you a debit card, set a budget for yourself, saying, okay, if you're 16, you should have a job. When I was 17, I had 3 jobs. So I always tell people, just try to, when you're getting paid, try to set a certain amount that you're going to put to the side. Try to manage your spending using your debit card. And then when you turn 18, try to get one of your parents or someone that has good credit. Don't just get, or a good credit card. Don't just get added to anyone's credit card, but get added to someone's credit card. They got a high credit card and they don't have any late payments and they have a long history. Like they had this credit card for 3 to 5 years. Try to get added to their credit card as an authorized user. And then you can also, when you turn 18, sign up for accounts like you can sign up for Kickoff, you can sign up for Sell. And then too, your credit score is going to be automatically at like the 650 mark when you start even really getting into your credit. And remember, when you start managing your debit card, you're going to easily know how to manage your credit card. You're going to easily know how to manage your credit card. The problem I see with a lot of adults is, and I'm talking to a younger person now, the problem I see with a lot of adults is they spend too much money on their credit cards, and they spend their credit cards like a debit card. And sometimes they spend it worse than a debit card because they feel like they have a certain limit and they can max it out and don't have to pay any large sum of money at the moment, so they think it's okay. So if you learn how not to max out your debit card, how to save money, you're not going to be the person that's maxing out a credit card. But easily you're going to be able to build your credit when you're older. But right now, just focus on having your debit card, manage your money, and budgeting and saving. That's huge. When I was younger, oh my gosh, my checks used to be gone the next day or like 3 days after I get it when I was young. And I was working at the movies. Yeah, right. That money was gone, but you need to learn how to save and you have to learn how to budget. That's very important. I already answered those questions. So let me see what everybody's talking about. I know I've been ignoring y'all, but y'all know y'all throw me off my focus. So now that you actually interact and see how everybody is doing. And thank you everybody that actually came to a live, and thank you for the person that actually gave me a donation. Thank you. So let's see. What's the text number? So the text number is 21,000. So you would just text SCORE right here, text SCORE to 21,000. And that's how you'll be a part of my texting club. How do you remove inquiries? We went over removing inquiries earlier. All you have to do is I have a free letter that you guys can use. You can send it into the credit bureaus. But if you want to have a faster result, then I suggest that you guys get my inquiry removal. I should have my ebook down below where you guys can actually start removing inquiries from your credit reports. And let me add this here. Here you go, right here. You guys can go to this website too, and you will see everything here. That's my website. John is asking, how are you doing? I'm doing really good. And I can say I'm doing good because I'm healthy, but I'm just, to be honest, I'm just going through the motions right now, just my life changing, I should say. You know, everything is changing in my life right now. I'm starting so many different things. I have my own real estate brokerage now, you guys. Rakita Realty. So I'm just here. I'm happy and I'm just, going through everything I'm going through. But I appreciate you asking. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, I talked about this. Look, is it possible for debt that you're disputing to show up on your credit reports under a different name or creditor? It won't show up under a different creditor, but it will show up under a different collection agency. So sometimes if you dispute an account on your credit report and you get that account removed, what they'll do is they're like, okay, forget it. That's fine. They'll sell it to a new collection agency. And that new collection agency will send you a letter out saying, hey, if you don't respond to this letter in 30 days or pay on this account, we're going to add this account to your credit reports. And if you do not respond, they're going to add that account to your credit reports. But collection agencies, what they'll do is they'll keep selling that debt. So yes, it is possible. That is possible. But that's why I always tell people too, if you dispute an account that's on your credit report, like if it's a collection agency, some collection agencies, you won't see the account show back up. But If you're trying to get a house, you're trying to get a car like right now, and you don't want the chance of it coming back, try to see if you can settle, like pay 50% on that debt, because you don't want debt to come back. And now it's like, dang, I was this close to getting my house. I was this close to getting my car. You want to make sure that you dispute those debts and you want to settle those accounts out. Is Express easier to get on a shopping cart trick? Express is very, very easy to get on a shopping cart trick. Sometimes I think it's easier to get the Express credit card than it is to get that Victoria's Secret credit card. So usually when you try to do the shopping cart trick, I always tell, like, don't get out to hire somebody like just to do the shopping cart trick. I always tell him, like, listen, try the Express and try the Victoria's Secrets. And he said he always get the Express. But don't forget, Express got this thing out right now where they say, oh, you got to prove for $75,000. It's not really $75,000. It's actually, you can prove for $750. So understand that when you guys are doing the shopping cart trick. I do not have the Wayfair credit card trick video. I don't have that one. So I've been working on my credit and having a medical bill. Oh, so is that the same exact company, or is this a new company? When it comes down to your medical bills, like medical bills, all you have to do is dispute them and then say it's a HIPAA violation, and usually that account's going to be removed from your credit reports. But if you can settle out those accounts, try to settle out your accounts. I'm so serious about that, because when accounts are added back to your credit reports, it's going to drop your credit score so much. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm emotional with my credit. I will cry in a minute. I cry. Like, even sometimes I look at some of my clients, if something goes wrong where it's like this right here, a new account is added to your credit report, I will cry like, oh my gosh, y'all, we just did all this work and now a new account is added to your credit reports. Because I think about how much your credit, if you don't have your credit in order, how much it can damage you, how much it can stop you from doing what you need to do. So what I would like you to do is try to see if you can settle that debt out, because you realize people are willing to companies are willing to put that account in your credit report. It must be worth something to them. So if I were you, I would try to see if I can settle that account out. But I always tell people, like, try to settle out the account for 50%. If they can't do 50%, go up to 60%, and then just let it sit. If they say no, just let it sit for a while. And in regards to, when I say let it sit, just, don't call them again. Call them again in like 2 weeks and try to see if they can settle that debt out at 50%. But just try to, if you see that you got an account removed from your credit report, especially if it's a collection, try to just see if you can settle that debt out, because you do not want that account to get added back to your credit reports. Okay, so hey Ricky, I'm currently working with you. Oh, you're welcome, Tasha. And I want to look at your credit reports. When you guys are on here, I know I always tell Israel, like, I am really so busy. Seriously, I'm really so busy, but I want to look at your credit reports. I want to see where you guys are at. Like, I have some clients where it's like they don't even really need to get many items removed from their credit reports at all. Their biggest problems is this: they credit card balances is too high, and they can boost their credit score they can boost your credit score by paying down their credit cards, or they're just getting too many inquiries because they're applying for too many companies. So I definitely want to look at you guys' credit reports. And if you guys are part of exclusive membership, like, come to the lives, you guys, so I can look up your accounts. And you guys can come on and we can see what's going on. We got like a big party in there. Have you ever seen this dispute letter? I have my own. I sent the dispute letter before, and it hurt my credit score before it actually helped. So before, I need to get my student loans removed because I had like 3 late payments on my student loans. But I got the student loans removed from my credit reports because they had those late payments, and it was a risk. When you get accounts removed from your credit reports that's technically positive, like that student loan was positive, those late payments was old, the damage was already done. I just knew that when I wanted to get certain credit cards, they're not going to want to see those late payments. So I made the decision to send them a dispute letter, and I wanted them to remove those student loans from my credit reports. Now, my credit score dropped. Now, let me tell you why my credit score dropped, because the account was actually positive in a way. I had the late payments, but those were owed. So in that case, I may see, you may see that your credit score drop. If you have charge-offs on your credit reports, you're going to see that your credit score go up. Sometimes I have clients where they have credit cards and they're like, Rakita, I ain't finna lie to you. I'm going through something right now. I cannot pay these credit cards. Like, what should I do? When you start, before you start getting those late payments on those credit cards, I told you guys how to do this before, I started disputing those accounts for them. So say if you have a credit card where you're not going to be able to pay it off, and you want to start disputing those accounts to get that account off your credit report before they start reporting late payments, you're going to see a drop in your credit score because it was a positive account. The late payments didn't start yet, but trust me, the damage was going to come eventually. But in those cases, I do see that credit score drop. Yes. So a new credit card can definitely ruin your chances, but it just depends. If you guys have, like, if you already have your credit together right now, you just basically just waiting, you trying to get a little quick boost. You can get approved right now, but you want to get your credit score as high as you can get it. Getting a new credit card, that new inquiry can lower your credit score. On top of that, when that account is added to your credit report that you already have 4 credit cards, it's going to drop your credit score because it's a new account and you changing the age of your accounts. So that's how it can ruin your chances of getting a new mortgage. And sometimes, depending on, some people get a credit card throughout the process of actually, like, they already pre-approved, they already found their house, they're about to close. And the day of closing, sometimes lenders will pull your credit reports again. They want to make sure your credit score is good. They want to make sure that you did not max out any credit cards. Some people go and buy new things. They'll go get a new car while they about to get a house. They want to make sure that these things did not happen. If they pull your credit and see that you got a new account on your credit report, that may be fine. But the damage of you getting a new account, your credit score dropping, you may drop below the credit score requirement. So I always tell people, like, just, if you're trying to get a house, just leave it alone right now. Don't do anything. If you want to do anything to boost your credit, just pay down your credit cards. Paying down your credit cards should not lower your credit score. I heard somebody say that it lowered their credit score, but I always tell them, hey, look at other things. It could have been something else. You got an inquiry or something else happened. I always tell people, just pay down your credit cards. Even paying off accounts too. Paying off accounts is going to make that account report closed. That can lower your credit score, but that's a temporary drop. But these different things that you can do can actually ruin your chance of getting a mortgage depending on where your credit score is at. I knew 2 new cars in the lap. That's not. Depending on your debt, that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. Because when it comes down to get the house, they only have so much debt. It's only so much debt you can have because you have something called debt to income ratio. So depending on what type of loan you're trying to get, they're going to say, hey, you have too much debt to get the house that you want. We can give you a house, but you may want the $250,000 house. But with the amount of debt you have, you can only get a $180,000 house. So that's how debt can mess you up. But what you say, you get 2 new cars, that kind of concerned me. Like, ooh, I don't know, that's not good. But it really depends too. Like, do you have any other debt? What's your income? If you make a lot of money and you got 2 new cars and you can totally afford it, it's not really messing up your debt to income, then fine. But you want to make sure that you don't get too much debt on your credit reports before you get a house. Like, if you know you want to get this house, get your house, and then the day of closing, go and get your car. It's so easy to get a car. It's not so easy to get a house. So the day you actually close on your house, that's the day you go and get your car. But sometimes too, some people get 2 new cars, but that's your car note amount is so low. And if your car note amount, say if you pay too much on your car note, try to see if you can refinance it, because that shows that you have less debt that you pay monthly. Try to refinance it, but it really just depends on whether those 2 new cars is a good thing or a bad thing when it comes down to ruining your credit. But try not to get too much debt when you're trying to get a house. I have a collection company trying to collect all the research. So when it comes down to the statute of limitations, you'll see that a lot of collection companies don't even care about this. And when I say they don't care about it, they're still going to send you notices out there saying that you owe on the debt. Now, I'm not an attorney. I can't tell you whether something is legal, something is illegal. I already went through all of that with, telling you guys different things. And I was getting in trouble. Like, you're not a lawyer. You cannot say certain things. But definitely ask an attorney this question. Now, when it comes down to the statute of limitations, what I do see is a lot of companies, if they'll add the account to your credit reports, and when they add that to your credit reports, that is a form of collecting. And if I were you, I would send in a complaint to the Better Business Bureau, and I would send a complaint to the CFPB, and I will let them help with that, or even to the Attorney General, let them deal with that. But definitely they should be able to help you with that. And you guys, like I told you, I want you to pay off some debts, but some companies, they're just forcing it. Like, there's some things that they just can't do. They'll still do it because who gonna do something? Like, what you gonna do about it? Like, even when you got accounts on your credit reports, you wasn't late. They marked you late on your credit reports. That happened a lot. That happened to me before. So, and I was late before, so I can say, yes, I was late. Can you remove it though? I know what it's like to have an account marked as late when you really weren't late. These companies will really do whatever they want to do, especially knowing that there's nobody out there or no company out there that's really stopping them from doing a lot of different things. Now, you can see some things like Santander, Capital One, some of these companies getting in trouble for certain things, but not like they should. Not like they should. You're late, but you're here. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. We still got about 15 minutes. Oh, I added the notification in the exclusive membership. But don't worry, I'm finna add the video. I went over how to write the basic dispute letter, so I'm gonna add that video to the exclusive membership right after this. But I went live at 12 Central Standard Time. I sent my letter in to have all my old addresses removed. That's good. That's what I usually do too. And if you guys want to know a trick, what I do too is, let me see if I got a paper. Yeah, I can. I sent in all my addresses to get stuff removed. I sent it in with a blue sheet of paper. So address removed, it's just easier. I send it in with a blue sheet of paper, and that's how I get the addresses removed. And remember, if you had some things going on to the point where, like, say if you stayed at the address right here, 1111 West Vine Street, and you had got 10 collections account there, you had credit cards you did not pay. If you have something like that going on, what you need to do is you need to get that address removed from your credit reports, because you have so many accounts tied to that address. That's why I always tell people, try to see if they use their mama address, their cousin address, use somebody else's address, and then get all of your old addresses removed from your credit reports. Now, understand, when you use someone's addresses, all of your letters are going to go there. So use someone that you can actually trust, that they're going to give you everything that you get in the mail. But you really need to make sure that you get your old address removed from your credit reports. Like, that is very, very important. Like I told you guys, I had like over $27,000 in debt for credit cards. And the biggest thing that helped me was getting old address removed from my credit reports. So I always tell people, like, seriously, get those addresses removed. Like, that's like a top priority, is to get those addresses removed. And sometimes too, like, you may get a letter saying, hey, we got a letter from you, but it seems like you're working with a credit repair agency. You may see something like that. All you have to do, if you want to get addresses removed, let me show you. Let me add this one back to the screen. This is a dispute letter I showed you guys earlier. But if you want to get your addresses removed, you can go ahead and just add your addresses here also. You can add all the addresses right with your account names. You can do that, and they'll remove from your credit reports, but just add them. That's just like the main thing, just to add the accounts. That's all you have to do. But definitely get your addresses removed. And again, you can still call the credit bureaus and have them remove it over the phone. So if you have positive accounts with that account, you can just tell them, this is my new address. But I never seen that my positive accounts or anybody positive accounts got removed from us removing old addresses. When you get old addresses removed and then you ask to dispute certain negative accounts, that's when those negative accounts will get removed. But they won't remove the positive, like, hey, this one had the same address. I will try to see if you can get that address updated too, though, so that those accounts, there's not an address attached to that account with an address that's negative for you. If it's on your positive accounts too, I wouldn't want that address to be on positive accounts. I will try to update the address and try to dispute all of the addresses. But if the account is positive and you dispute the negative accounts, they shouldn't mess with your positive accounts. They shouldn't mess with those at all. They should stay on your credit reports. All you guys, so here is my website for those people that didn't get it. If you guys are not a part of my exclusive membership, make sure you guys join the exclusive membership. Use my coupon code credit101. Now, I talked to Israel. If you guys know, you guys called in a while. You guys definitely know about Israel. And he talked about how a lot of people do like the lifetime membership. So once you're a member, you always a member. So you get my exclusive live videos, any new worksheets we have, you have all of that within the exclusive the exclusive membership. But that's not going to be available forever. That's not going to be available forever, because I realized too, like, our workload on how many people like we're disputing the accounts is just getting huge. It's getting huge. And I see a lot of people like not doing their work on their end. So definitely join the exclusive membership. Understand that if you see a lifetime membership on there, it's not going to last forever. And if you watching this video and it's probably a year later, it may not be there, but definitely join the exclusive membership. Should I make a settlement offer for a past due credit card, a closed credit card? Okay, so let me tell you a funny story. Think about this. So I was thinking about paying a credit card off, and I called them. I was like, hey, I want to pay off this credit card. And let me tell you what happened, because this kind of tie into what you were saying. So when I called, I actually had multiple credit cards with this company. And, they was like, okay, we're willing to settle. We're going to do an offer, but we want you to pay 60% on the debt. And I'm like, no, I don't pay 60% on the debt. And then they was like, well, which debt do you want to pay? Because you have 3 different accounts with us. And I'm like, only this one, because that was the only account on my credit report. Only if an account is on a credit report, I would even think about selling on that account. If it's not on a credit report, it's not damaging you. I won't even think about selling the account if it's the original creditor, right? And sometimes, everybody's situation is different, but if you got extra money, trying to think about selling, especially if they can sell it to another company and put on your credit report and you have that offer. But if your money is, not where you need to be, and that account is not on your credit report and they just sending you an offer, then, don't think that you got to hurry up and jump on it. Don't think that you have to hurry up and jump on it, especially if there's other things you could be paying. I hope you guys understand that. So like with that example I gave you, that one account was on my credit report. I didn't want to pay any other account because they weren't on my credit report. I've been got that stuff deleted. It was just that one account on my credit report. So I didn't want to settle out any of the other accounts. So if this account is not on your credit report, or if it wasn't on my credit report, I wouldn't think of it as urgent, to settle the account out. But understand that because the closed credit card and you still owe a balance, they could sell it to another company. So depending on that settlement offer, depending on statute of limitations, remember statute of limitations is the amount of time they have to try to sue you. So in Wisconsin, we have 6 years. So look up SOL for your state and determine, like, okay, can they still sue me? And figure out if you want to even pay off that debt. But yeah, depending if it's on a credit report, that's really like my main thing. Is it on a credit report? Is it on a credit report? That's like the main thing. Do they still call me a lot? When the last time it was on a credit report? What's the chance of them selling the account? Those different things to think about. But like I told you guys too before, if you're trying to buy a house, you're trying to buy a car, and they sending you a settlement offer to settle out that debt, just get it settled out, because even after you buy that house, buy the car, if they sell it to a new collection company and put on your credit report, your credit is damaged. Yeah, you got a house, you got a car, but your credit is damaged. Try to settle those debts out so when you go and get your house, you don't have any debts. I think that should be like the new thing people should aim for. It's like having no debt. Like, I don't owe anybody. Like, that's big to me. So if you can sell that debt out, and now you don't owe anybody, no new company can say you owe them, no matter statute of limitations or not, I would try to settle that debt out. Oh, she said same company. I forgot the question though. Oh, it's the same company. It's the same company. I would send reinsertion letter to the credit bureau asking them why did they reinsert that account onto your credit reports. So if you get an account removed from your credit reports, they're supposed to tell you within 5 days that they're going to add that account back onto your credit reports. If they don't tell you that, then that's a violation. Again, I'm not an attorney. I can't give you legal advice, but look up the rules. Like, just look up the rules. And all you have to do is send them a letter saying, hey, you previously deleted this account from your credit reports, and now you added this account back on. Please send me the verification that you use or any information that you use to show that this account is an actual valid account and a verified account. That's what I would send to the credit bureau, especially since it's the same account. So how much should my credit score rise if I remove inquiries? How do I get the ebook? So everybody is different. Some people say their credit score go up 20 points, some go up 5 points, some go up 30 points. It really depends on how many inquiries you have, how old they are too. And then too, you have to think about this. If you got multiple inquiries through a car dealership, so say if you have 20 inquiries through a car dealership, if you guys got all those inquiries within the same amount of time, like within a month, then it's going to kind of count as one inquiry, right? So when you get all of those inquiries removed, your credit score may not jump as much as somebody else that got a credit card with multiple companies. They got credit card inquiries with different companies, if you guys understand what I mean. But everybody's situation is different when it comes down to how much your credit score should rise. But definitely when you dispute your inquiries with Experian, you will know within 3 hours how much. It's like, you ain't gotta ask me, like, they gonna tell you how much your credit score rise right away. You'll get if you guys have the app, or if you guys have the notifications in your email too, they'll let you know to log into your app because you have some changes to your credit reports, and you'll know how much your credit score rise then. But you should be able to get the ebook on my website, so the 750andupclub.com. You can see it right here. And if you guys use, at the end of this, you guys are going to see that you guys can use my coupon code credit15. Oh, here you go, right here. Can you see it at the bottom, credit15, to get 15% off? You can see it like right there at the bottom. You guys can definitely use that with anything that's in my store to get 15% off. So if I settle out, would it come off my credit reports? It depends. What's the name of the company? So if you guys have an account with certain collection companies, then you're going to see that when you pay out those collection companies, they're willing to remove it, like portfolio recovery. When you pay off or settle out the debt with portfolio recovery, and if you guys want to settle out debt with portfolio recovery, they're willing to settle out debt at 50%. So don't take no for an answer. But if you pay off any debt with portfolio recovery, they're going to remove that account from your credit reports in 30 days. If they do not remove that account from your credit reports to send a dispute for that account, they'll get that dispute and then they'll remove that account from your credit reports. Some companies just have a law like that. Like, that's what they do. They're going to remove it as soon as you pay it off. But you have to ask that collection company and try to get it in writing too, saying, hey, if I sell out this debt, you guys will remove that account from my credit report. But every company is different, whether they're going to remove that account or not. Hello, I need to speak with someone, please. I am a client. Call us at 833-RAKITA. You should be able to get us there. So here's my phone number. I'm adding it to the comments. But yeah, call us at 833-RAKITA. I think, here it is right here. Oh my God, I can do this. Call us here, and then you should be able to get someone. You should be able to get Israel. You'll get Esther on the phone so that they can be able to help you with your account. Now, I want you guys to understand this. When you guys are a part of the exclusive membership and we are sending out letters on your behalf, understand that there is things that we need you to do. So we need to make sure that you send us a copy of your ID, send us a copy of your social security card, or something with your proof of address so that we can send it into the credit bureaus. We also want you guys to place freezes on your, on your check systems, on your LexisNexis, on your third-party bureaus. That's something that we really need you guys to do. If you have accounts in your credit reports you need to get removed, you may need to go ahead and put those freezes on those secondary bureaus. So definitely go ahead and do that right away. But if you ever have questions, go ahead and call us. And sometimes, too, I see a lot of people like, hey, I want Rakita to look at my credit reports. when you guys talk to Israel and he like looking at your credit reports, most likely he done sent it to me. Like, Rakita, what do you think? Just so I can just to clarify that he know what's going on. But he always know what's going on. When Israel look at your credit reports, he know what's going on. You guys are in good hands. Now, I recently seen somebody ask too, like, Rakita, should the credit scores be to buy a house? If you guys are trying to buy a house right now, try to aim for like a 640 credit score on all 3 credit bureaus. Granted, they are going to take the credit score that's in the middle. So when you line up all your credit scores from least to greatest, they're going to take whatever credit score is like in the middle. They're not going to just say, okay, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, we're going to take TransUnion because it was the middle credit report. They're going to line up your credit scores to try to make sure that your middle score especially is in a 640, but I always try to make sure all the credit scores in the 640, but make sure that middle score is in the 640 and you should be able to buy a house. Now, some companies are going to say you don't need a 580 credit score. When you get that 640 credit score, especially if you can just work a little bit harder and get your credit score over that 680 mark, if you get your credit score over that 680 mark, sometimes 660 mark, that's going to make it so that some things you can get like an automatic approval when you want to get a mortgage. It can go right through the system. You don't have to get any additional approval. They don't have to look at your credit report and try to make an exception for you. So I always tell people try to have your credit score over 680, sometimes 620, but try to have your credit score as high as you can have it, even if it's a 580 credit score requirement. Or for some people that's out there getting a VA loan, some companies, we have all of the different mortgage companies in every state. So if you need help find a mortgage company, go ahead and call us. We can help you get approved for a mortgage also, and definitely find a realtor. But some mortgage companies with a VA loan is going down to a 550. But still, try to have your credit score as high as you can have it. Like, seriously, have your when it comes down to buying a house, your credit score is not going to dictate like how much of a house you're going to get. Like, am I going to get a $300,000 house? I got an 800 credit score. I should be able to get one because I have 800 credit score. Your 800 credit score is going to dictate your interest rate. That's it. Your income and your debt is going to dictate how much of a house you can get, because I got to figure out how much income you have coming in and how much debt you have in terms of how much you're paying monthly. And then they're going to decide how much you can get approved for your mortgage. But your credit score is going to dictate, how much they're going to charge you for your interest rate. Oh, that's good. That's good. Kickoff is a good account. And I chopped up another live video, and I had so many different things on there. But Kickoff was one of them. And somebody asked, should they be concerned about it? Getting that Kickoff account, because they sound like, the new system is not going to work. It's not going to help my credit. It's going to be looked at as a bad account. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, I see people getting approved for a house with Kickoff credit account on their credit report. So get your Kickoff account. If you just starting off, Kickoff is everything. My credit score went up 37 points when I got Kickoff. So I'm here for it. Kickoff don't even have to give me a check. I'm just like, I like Kickoff. Yeah, they don't even have to sponsor me. Like, I just love them. But let's see, we got a few more. I'm a client. I wonder, is this going to be Santander? But the next question is, y'all can read all of that. Can they get this repo removed, or can they use that letter? Definitely use that letter to get the repo removed from the credit reports. And two, within the settlement, it should be agreement on that account should be removed from the credit reports. But definitely, if your client send that in to us too, so we can have it. And I already know too, some people that have the Santander account, especially if it's an older account, they did have settlements out there too, where the account had to be removed from the credit reports. So definitely look that up, you guys, because if you have Santander doing that account, then you may want to try to get that account removed from your credit report using that settlement reason. No debt at all. One charge off from 3 years, not much for now. So the information, so this I want everybody to know, the information that you gave me, I don't know if you're able to get a mortgage. What is your credit scores? Because some people, I see them, they don't have any new negative accounts. They have one negative account, but they haven't gotten any credit cards. Like, what is your credit scores? And two, what is your like, what's your income too? All of that plays into whether you're going to be able to get a mortgage or not. But looking at this and saying you got credit cards, your credit score should be over a 640, especially if your credit card utilization is low. It should be over 640 credit score. You should be able to get a oh my gosh, I can't even say it. I need to get off this line. You should be able to get approved for a mortgage. You should be able to. But like I said too, everybody's situation is different. You definitely want to actually try to get approved for a mortgage and see what they say. Yeah, yep. Hey, Ricky, a big thanks to you in the 7. Oh, you're welcome. Would you recommend getting a loan to pay off your debt? Is 3. It depends. So let me tell you my situation, because I only can tell you what I went through. So I actually got a new credit card to pay off my old credit cards because they was willing to give me a low interest rate. So I did like a balance transfer, and I used that to pay off my credit cards. But depending on these debts that you have, you may want to get an additional loan. But if these debts are like collection companies and stuff like that, and I wouldn't think about taking out a new loan to pay off that debt. I wouldn't. Because now you wasn't even like required to really pay those collection companies. Like right now, it was like you ain't getting charged any interest on it. But as soon as you take out a loan, you're gonna be charged interest on some debts that technically you didn't have to pay at that time. So I would think if you want to pay off certain debts, depending on how much the debt is, I would rather see the actual debts. But depending on these debts, if you want to pay them off, try to save how much you're going to pay on that debt and then just pay it. That's what I would do if I were you. Set money to the side, give yourself a loan. Set money to the side, and then when you have the money, like with a collection company, they said they're willing to take 50%. A lot of times they want that money right then and there. So I would just save as much money as I can, then have the money to pay off that account, and then I would pay it. But if it's an account that's stopping you from getting a mortgage, understand that some people, they'll do this trick. They'll just get a loan and then they'll pay off those 3 debts. But they got to understand too that loan, depending on the monthly payment on that loan can stop you from getting a mortgage, because now you have more debt that you have to pay technically. And some collections or some charge-offs, they won't even add that into your debt. But now it's going to be added into your debt when you have that loan. So I would want to see those accounts to see. Well, try to see if you can pay half of it, especially seeing if that account is going to be, just keep getting added to your credit report. I would try to pay half on it. But let me see. Let me skim through the last question. Okay, so remember earlier, they said that they had the repo account is Santander. I would definitely send that in and let if you can send us a copy of it, or you can send a letter in yourself too, letting them know that the account should be removed from your credit report, and send them a copy of that letter that you got. Okay, perfect. Yep, send it to Israel. Send it to Israel. How about self? Let me see. I forgot the second part. I think that's probably the only thing. I like the self account. I believe I have it in the description too. I still pay on my self account $48 per month. And like I told you guys, since I've been with self, my credit score went up so much. And I see people who sign up for self and their credit score go up like 40 points as soon as that account is added to your credit reports, because they really need an account added to your credit reports. So I definitely like self. If you guys have high limit credit cards and you guys are able to get an actual loan, like some of these accounts like Kickoff and Self, I would not suggest those for people that got like a 620 or like a 640 credit score, to try to boost their credit score even more, especially if you already have credit cards and things like that. Those accounts are for people that got like a really, really, really low credit score. Here's somebody else too about self. This is for somebody that got a really low credit score and they need it. They can't get a regular loan. They can't get a regular account. But I definitely like them. I'm doing really good. How are you? Thank you for your great work. You're welcome. You're welcome. I like to keep these comments because the work I be trying to do on this end, I be like, I don't know if I should do it. I didn't even want to go live for you guys. And now I feel better. Like, okay, all these people, they got all their questions answered. It's a good thing. But I'm definitely here for you guys. Oh, you should be good then. You should be good then. Depending on what type of loan you're trying to go get. You should be good to try to go get that loan. And call us. Call us 833-RAKITA if you need us to help you get pre-approved for a mortgage. I have 2 charges up on my credit report, but both of them have different balance amounts. Yeah, and for accounts like that, do you have accounts on your credit reports? You can just throw that thing on one of these letters. I can help you send out the letter. Join exclusive membership. You'll get a copy of all the letters. You can just send out that account right here on these letters right here, and you can see where it says not mine, no contract, not liable, unverifiable. All you have to do is just change this. So say if you know the specific reason why that account should be removed from your credit report, you can add that here saying the date open on this account is inaccurate. The last date of payment reported is inaccurate. Different. The balance on this account is inaccurate. You can just add the information right here where it says not mine, no contract, not liable, unverifiable. You can add the information right there. But if you need help with that, join exclusive membership if you're not already a part of exclusive membership, and we can help you with that. We can definitely help you with that. You should get a copy of the letters. Oh, he got some more about self. Oh, that's good. I just love self, y'all. I just love self. And you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm just happy that my videos definitely help you guys, because sometimes I just be like, I don't know if I should do these videos. I'm talking about the same stuff. But I got to realize, too, sometimes people don't see, like, everything I talk about. So I want to keep making videos for you guys. I want to keep going live. Now, my lives, I plan on doing my lives every Monday at 12 o'clock. Central Standard Time. I know I said I was going to do it every day in the week, but this summertime, you guys, 2 of my littles is in daycare, and the 2 big ones is here, and my 6-year-old. I haven't worked in here. Like, he helped mail some letters and stuff, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And I have a huge surprise to tell you guys later on, too. Oh, that's good. That's good. That is good. I'm so happy that my videos is helpful. Like I told you guys, I have more videos coming out. If you guys are part of exclusive membership, you guys definitely will see more exclusive videos. And if you guys are part of the exclusive membership, I'm going to try to see if I can have like a monthly sheet or something like that with the links so that you don't have to guess. I'll say, hey, I'm going live next Thursday at this time, and here's the link. You can automatically just have that link saved. So when it's time to go live, you know I'm there at that time. Oh, thank you, y'all. Thank you. But let me get off of here, you guys. Don't forget, join the exclusive membership. Use Credit 101 to get $30 off. And if you have any questions, drop them down. And if you ever have a question on a video, I know you guys, sometimes you may think like, hey, she answered my question. I am collecting all of those questions that I'm seeing. Sometimes I try to answer them right then and there, but I'm collecting all those questions in like the first 35 minutes of this video. I literally went through questions from YouTube. So definitely drop the questions on that video that you may have a question on. And remember, you guys, you just need 4 credit cards, 2 installment accounts, get everything negative removed, keep the balance on your credit cards, and you should be able to buy a house. Like, that's the basics of everything. And you'll change your life by just doing those basic things. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.